Lesson 1, the good news begins, I think this is going to lay the foundation. It's going to show us Mark's personality too and how quickly he moves in just the first 15 verses that we cover. But just focus right now on verse 1. Mark says, the beginning of the gospel of Jesus Christ, the Son of God. In a way, Mark reveals everything in his very first verse. And beginnings are important. We're going to notice that all 4 gospels have a very unique beginning, and even use the word beginning in their beginnings. And each presentation of those beginnings tells something about what that gospel writer is focused on, what they really want us to see about Jesus. Matthew, we see, starts with the generations of Jesus Christ, the son of David, the son of Abraham. Matthew wants to show us Jesus' kingship. He wants to show us that this is a Jew born in Abraham, born of the promises, but also that this is the son of David, this is the king. And he gives a genealogy that traces back through David and to Abraham. And so this is how Matthew begins, and it really focuses on his portrait of Jesus as the Messiah, as the king. We see the same with Luke and John. Famously, John begins, in the beginning was the Word. His beginning is all the way in eternity. He wants to show that Jesus, as the Word, the eternal Word, was with God, was God from the very beginning. And so the deity of Christ is going to be very important. Luke is the historian, and he sets Jesus right down in the history of Rome and the Jewish people and the Jewish nation with Elizabeth and Mary, Joseph and Zacharias, and who was ruling. You see this very human historical side of Jesus in Luke, because Luke wants to show us this compassionate Son of Man. He has a genealogy as well that takes us all the way back to Adam. So he wants to really emphasize this humanness. What's unique about Mark is he's straight to the business. He goes straight for the ministry of Jesus. Here he is, the gospel of Jesus Christ, the Son of God. And that's loaded. You might say that he shows his hand from the very get-go, and he starts right at the ministry of Jesus, and he takes off like a bullet from there. But the rest of the book of Mark, in a way, is him unpacking what that first verse means. This good news that this is Jesus the Christ, the Messiah. This is the Son of God. The reader knows from verse 1 who Jesus is from Mark, but we're going to be observing as Mark tells the story of Jesus and how everyone comes to learn and either receive or reject Jesus as the Christ, the Son of God. And so Mark's beginning is very terse, very direct, and we see his speed, that personality, in just the next few verses. He does want to tie Jesus, the coming of the good news of Jesus, he wants to tie that into the prophets. And so he goes straight to Isaiah 40, passage we're familiar with, preparing the way of the Lord, a voice in the wilderness crying. This is Isaiah 40, a chapter that also talks about the good news to come. If you want to go back and read Isaiah 40, what we see here happening is Mark wants to ground not only the ministry of Jesus, but the ministry of John the Baptist in the prophetic word. And this is all coming to pass. It's very exciting, and Mark is very quick. Very quickly, we have the baptism of Jesus. We have the temptations of Jesus. We have the arrest of John. We have Jesus' ministry starting, saying, the gospel of the kingdom is at hand, repent and believe. And so that's just the first 15 verses. We move very quickly.